From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening. Authorities have continued what they are now calling a body recovery effort for a Fairbanks man who went missing in the Chena River last night.
That's right. Shortly after 8 p.m., Fairbanks fire personnel said 2 men reportedly jumped into the Chena off of the Centennial Footbridge located downtown. Now, one of the 2 returned safely from the water. However, the second man, now identified as 30-year-old Tyler Covert, never surfaced. The recovery went into the early morning hours and resumed again around 10 a.m. today. It is now headed by Tanana Chiefs Conference and the VPSOs, who are using a new netting system that could assist in the recovery mission.
Last night, VPSOs deployed body recovery nets. These are nets that were approved by the Department of Fish and Game with a 12-inch mesh. We won't be catching fish, but the goal is to capture a body that may be adrift in the river. We checked the net, wasn't successful, so we have since put the body recovery net farther downriver. So any recreational boaters, please use caution as you're going up or down the Chena River between the power plant and the Carlson Center.
River temperature right now is in the mid-40s. The Chena's cold all year long. Anyone that goes in without a life jacket on has a tough time.
VPSOs are seeking volunteers from the community to help. As the recovery efforts continue, we will continue to provide updates online at webcenter11.com.
North Pole police have confirmed 2 young girls were abducted but then returned over the weekend. Police worked through the weekend to confirm the reports after another boy came forward saying he too was abducted Saturday evening. That report allegedly turned out to be false, but police say the 2 young girls, aged 7 and 9, were taken forcefully. Details as to the actual circumstances surrounding the abduction are limited at this time, and police say they are working to put out a vehicle description as well as a description of the suspect in the case. In the meantime, they ask parents to be cautious and keep an eye on their kids.
Initial investigation in order to corroborate the information has led us to believe that the 2 young ladies were abducted and returned unharmed. So I would suggest to all parents to keep a close eye on your children. It's like, you know, just even in little North Pole, there's still a possibility that this can happen. It can happen anywhere. So I would always say that you keep a close eye on your children. If anybody has any details or any other events that are similar to this, please contact us at the North Pole Police Department.
Jury selection began this morning for a North Pole man facing numerous counts of sexual child abuse. 45-year-old Alan Hughes was taken back into custody late last month after being charged with a total of 27 counts of the sexual abuse of a minor. Court documents allege Hughes abused 2 young girls and later forced them to have sex with another juvenile male. Hughes was due to stand trial sooner, but delays prompted Superior Court Judge Jane Kavar to order him taken back into custody and held on $250,000 of bail. Once a jury is selected, opening arguments will be held in Superior Court.
The filing period for the October 6th Fairbanks North Star Borough Municipal Election opened at 8 o'clock this morning. It runs through August 17th at 4:30 p.m. Jamie Schwartzwald spent the morning at the Borough Administration Building and caught up with a few candidates for local office.
Lance Roberts was the first candidate to officially file. He will seek a second term on seat G of the Borough Assembly. Roberts, who has been actively campaigning this summer, says if elected, he will continue to advocate for borough property owners.
I think the last 3 years I've done what I can to lower taxes and protect property rights, and I think there's more that can be done. We still need to trim that budget down and lower the tax burden on the taxpayers.
As of noon today, the only other filer for Borough Assembly is political newcomer Dennis Alexander. He is running for seat A, currently held by Van Lawrence. Alexander says he decided to throw his hat into the ring following the Assembly's action earlier this year to regulate the use of wood stoves as home heating devices in an effort to battle the interior's air quality problem.
Temperature inversion is the problem in Fairbanks, and I just can't seem to understand why people won't address that one issue, and they will not address it. I plan to address it. When we start talking about wood smoke police and fining people, and it's over the line. It's time to stop and say we've done enough, stand up to the EPA and work things out.
Both Heidi Haas and Lisa Gentry officially filed for re-election to their respected seats on the Fairbanks Board of Education. Michael Meeks filed to retain his seat on the Interior Gas Utility Board. Moving to the race for borough mayor, State Representative Tammy Wilson says she plans to officially file sometime after Tuesday. Meanwhile, Assemblyman Carl Castle made it official, filing to run for borough mayor late this morning.
I expect this is going to be a challenging race. It's one of the more important local races I think we've had in a while. I think there's going to be distinct differences between candidates, and voters should take a close look and see what they think they want the future of our community to be. I think it can be very different depending on who's going to be mayor.
Alrighty, when we come back, the countdown is underway for the opening of this year's Tanana Valley State Fair. We begin a series tonight to let you know what you can expect.
And thanks to volunteers, the Stone Soup Cafe will now be able to grow their own produce to aid their mission of feeding the homeless and needy. Those stories are next. Stay with us. And welcome back. Senator Lisa Murkowski today received word that Alaska will be exempt from strict new EPA rules concerning greenhouse gas emissions from existing power plants. Murkowski said there are several issues that were unique to Alaska and that it would have been nearly impossible for the state to meet some of the new requirements. Murkowski had questioned McCarthy about the potential to exempt Alaska from the Clean Power Plan during an Interior Appropriations Subcommittee hearing earlier this year.
We have five facilities that we're talking about here, 4 of which are natural gas, 1 is coal. So when you're talking about how you're going to get to that 26% reduction, there's not a lot of give. And as a consequence, Alaska has looked at this very critically and says there is no way that we can achieve what has been set out.
The Tanana Valley State Fair will kick off another season beginning this Friday, the 7th, and wrap up on Saturday, the 15th. Already the first signs are appearing as vendors are constructing and restoring their booths from last year, and soon the rides in Midway will take shape. One problem in the past has been security for the fairgrounds against vandalism and safety for the patrons. According to one official, that problem is now being addressed.
I have a new security system on our grounds this year, and I have a monitor here in my office where I can see everything that happens on the grounds. Up to 32 cameras within this year and next year will be mounted around the grounds. So just smile when you're looking at them, or we'll see what's happening. And it's being recorded 24/7, so we will have the security that people have been so concerned about in both the livestock area, horse area, and on the grounds.
As the opening of the fair approaches, each night this week we'll pass along some information to you about what this year's fair will have to offer.
Several volunteers built several new soil boxes to grow produce at the Stone Soup Garden, which is a new addition to downtown Fairbanks. Organizers are hoping to harvest 2,500 pounds of produce for use by the Stone Soup Cafe. Reporter Ryan Grimes has the story.
The Stone Soup Garden is located along Lacey Street between 11th and 12th Avenue. It started in April this year with 13 empty soil beds that would be overlooked by people passing by. But that has since changed. Already the tomatoes, carrots, and zucchini plants that were planted just a few months ago are just about grown. They are to be used for the Breadline Stone Soup Cafe on Gaffney Road, which serves about 25,000 free meals to people in need annually.
Well, whenever you start a project like this, like trying to grow 2,500 pounds of food in what used to be a lot that had just dirt and trash and weeds, and you're using raised beds all in the summer, you need lots and lots and lots of help and people. So we have people that every day during the summer come and weed, water, and wow the garden. And then today is about doubling the size of our garden so that we can grow more food.
Several volunteers were on hand building 12 more soil beds out of donated garage doors and other materials. Once finished, the garden will be twice the size it was. Volunteer coordinator and gardener Micheline Patterson says they are utilizing the donated items to maximize growing potential.
All the garage doors were donated from local garage door companies. The paper was donated, the sawdust was donated from the fairgrounds, paper came from Shredway, and our different lasagna of layering to get the beds full so that we can grow the best amount of crop.
The lot the garden is located in is owned by the Greater Fairbanks Community Hospital Foundation. They're renting space to Stone Soup for only $1 per year. That's right, only 100 cents annually. Project volunteer Aubrey Pierce says they plan to beautify the garden as it develops to complement the look of downtown.
We want this entire lot filled with raised beds, and we'll have a nice sitting area. It'll look wonderful. It'll be a place where people can come and hang out and sit in the garden and help out.
This is Ryan Grimes reporting.
All right, Joe Cook is next with sports, and the Gold Panthers end the season on a high note.
A C?
Did I say
Possibly.
C?
Maybe a C?
Oh,
or
maybe an A.
It could be. Yeah, exactly.
Ooh,
Plus
did
a
you
former.
hear that vibrato?
That's pretty
It was
good.
just so great.
A former Nanook almost won $1 million. Interesting.
Now sing it.
Okay.
Sing
That's
it.
great. No, Joe will be back after the break. I'm not singing.
Hello Interior Alaska, Joe Cook here this Monday evening with the weekend recap. The Alaska Gold Panthers 2015 summer season ended on Sunday. The great thing is that it ended on a good note. The Gold Panthers defeated the rival Bucks 4-0 at Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage. Alaska led 3-0 in the first inning and held on for the win. AJ Franks went 7 2/3 and threw 5 Ks with no runs allowed and got the win in his first start of the season. John Strieber had 2 Ks in the final 2 innings, and Austin O'Banion, he led the Panthers on offense, going 2 for 4 with the ribby and a run scored. Alaska finished the 2015 season with a 14-33 overall record and 9-31 in the ABL. Now, despite having the worst record in the league, Rene Martinez was named to the All-ABL team for the Gold Panthers. The sophomore out of El Camino Compton led the Panthers in batting average, hitting .292, which was top 10 in the ABL. His 24 RBIs are second in the league, and he led Alaska in scoring with 17 runs. For the full list of the All-ABL team, visit this story on the sports page of webcenter11.com. The Miners and Bucks will meet for the ABL title on the top of the World Series tonight. The Yukon Quest had their opening day of signups for the 2016 race this past Saturday. 39 total mushers signed up on opening day, 21 for the Yukon Quest and 18 for the Yukon 300. Some of the usual suspects signed up early: defending champion Brent Sass, Alan Moore, and Paige Drobny. 9 rookies signed up for the Quest, including a couple of East Coasters like Jay Levy out of Durham, North Carolina, and Seth Barnes from Sterling, Alabama. It was also recently announced that the purse for the 2016 Quest will be at least $115,000. Last year's purse was a little over $127,000. Mushers will leave from Fairbanks towards the Whitehorse Yukon finish line on February 6, 2016. Andrew Kelly and Team 23 were 10 seconds away from one of, if not the biggest payday of their careers, but they'll have to wait till next year. Former Nanook basketball standout Andrew Kelly and Team 23 from Arizona met overseas elite in ESPN's The Basketball Tournament Championship game on Sunday. Kelly even got into a scuffle late in the game with his team down, trying to get the loose ball there. Kelly and Team 23 beat tournament favorite Ants Alumni on Saturday to reach the final. Overseas elite, they missed a free throw, and Team 23, they got the rebound, had 10 seconds left, but they could not get a shot off as Kelly looked for the pass there. The $1 million grand prize goes to Overseas Elite. No money is given out to the runner-up. Kelly averaged 6.1 points, 2.7 rebounds in 7 games for Team 23. A local club soccer team brought back a little hardware from a tournament in Anchorage over the weekend. The Eclipse 05 girls team, they shut out the Kenai Peninsula Soccer Club All-Stars 2-0 on Sunday. The win gave the Eclipse 3rd place in the 11 and under division of the Zane Memorial Cup in Anchorage. The team's leading scorers, Easy Widener and Siwa Welterlin, both scored for the Eclipse. Welterlin scored 4 goals during the tournament, and Widener had 3 goals. JC Chaffee got the shutout in net. It's been a long time since this event was in the Golden Heart City. Try 30 years. The Sports Car Club of America hosted an autocross event at the Carlson Center this weekend. Stanley Nissan was a sponsor for this Arctic Alaska region event. The interesting thing about autocross is that it's a mix of everyday cars ranging from Mustangs and Hondas to even Porsches. About 40 participants competed in individual time trials, trying to be the fastest through a coned course on Saturday. Another 25 hit the course on Sunday. In the Arctic Alaska region of autocross, events have been sanctioned since the late 80s, including road rally and rallycross races.
We used to race the quarter-mile tracks up here. I remember on Airport Way with the Racing Lions having that. I'm just so happy that now with the sports car event that we can get out in the parking lot and have some fun.
I'm happy with the turnout. I'm happy that there's a lot of people introduced to the sport. I started with autocrossing in 2009 and I got bitten by a bug and been in love ever since. So I'm very happy that there's a lot of people being introduced to the sport today.
And here's another active sport in the interior that you may not know about: rugby. Yeah, rugby. The Fairbanks men's and women's rugby teams hosted the Golden Days tournament on Saturday. The rugby action went down at Newby Field in North Pole. Rugby is a contact sport that's like a combination of soccer and football. About 15 teams from around the state came to play modified 10-on-10 fixtures. The Fairbanks men's squad lost a close match to the Bird Creek Barbarians 19-15. The Lady Ravens of Fairbanks team, they faced the Anchorage Select side, their first game of the day, but Anchorage, they would get the opening victory. More tournaments to come. And that'll do it for sports tonight. Mike Schultz is up next with your full weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back into our Monday night Fairbanks Evening News. Mike Schultz with you once again. I hope you had yourself a good weekend. It wasn't that great. We had cloudy skies, cool temperatures, even a little rain, but today it made up for it, and tomorrow's going to be even better. I'll tell you about that in just a little bit. With all the rain we've had this summer, it's been perfect for growing mushrooms, and this is exactly what Carol Renfro was able to capture: wild summer mushrooms. A nice close-up shot there, and you can see they look you know, very tantalizing, but I'm sure they're probably not good to eat. But anyway, keep in mind that when you're out picking mushrooms, to make sure you pick the right ones. Again, photos at ktvf11.com if you want to share a photo with the audience. 72 degrees, that's our current temperature, the high for the day. Recently, last night, our overnight low was 50 degrees, the record high 87 in 1919, record low freezing in 1944, sunrise and sunset, almost 18 hours of daylight. We'll lose more tomorrow, about 7 minutes to be exact. Our latest radar and satellite is showing once again most of the energy across the southwest portion of the state and over southeast Alaska. In between, just a few scattered clouds and clearing out even better because we've got a high pressure ridge building in that's going to clear everything out and give us some very, very warm temperatures tomorrow. For temperatures today, it was right around 66 degrees at Juneau. Scattered showers, rain still around the Ketchikan area. Over the Anchorage Bowl, 76. Nice day there. Still some rain falling at Kodiak Island, 60 degrees, and raining at Cold Bay, 57. Up and down the west coast, nice day in Bethel, 75 degrees, 50 at Nome, and north of the Brooks Range, 44 degrees at Barrow, with Fort Yukon checking in with 70 degrees. Lower 48 weather looks like this, and again we're talking about warm temperatures at Seattle, 82 degrees, 100 in teens for the southwest portion of the country, but not as warm in Denver as it was last week, and very much cooler in Salt Lake City. Over the 100-degree mark at Dallas-Fort Worth, not too bad in Minneapolis. Chicago, 82 degrees, 94 degrees in Seattle, 94 also in Atlanta, and the 90 still around the northeastern portion of the country, all the way down to Washington, D.C. On the satellite and radar, you can see a little bit of a little bit of rain shower activity developing over the Rocky Mountains and working its way to the east. Otherwise, things are pretty scattered. Just a few scattered showers here and there, and up and down the west coast, of course, with all the hot temperatures, clear skies there. Now, the overall outlook is for tomorrow is calling for scorching temperatures to continue over the southwest, while up and down the west coast looking at very nice conditions, and the heat wave looks like it's coming to an end there. Why? Well, because the jet stream is dropping a little further to the south. That doesn't allow as much hot air to move as far north as it has been. Very, very hot temperatures will continue across Texas, and thunderstorms scattered over the southeastern portions of the country. Back to Alaska for tomorrow. Here's what it looks like in the northern sections. Cloudy skies, some fog for Barrow, partly cloudy skies at Nome, but lots of sunshine in Fort Yukon and near 80 degrees for the high. Here in the interior, couldn't ask for a better forecast. Abundant sunshine for the region and considerably warmer than it was today. 83 for Fairbanks, 80 at Delta Junction. And over southeast Alaska, we'll have the rain still continuing around the Ketchikan area, but partly cloudy skies at Juneau. Over the southwest part of the state, it looks like for the most part cloudy skies with rain at Cold Bay, rain in Kodiak, and partly cloudy skies for Bethel. And down around southeast or south central sections of Alaska, sunny skies across the region there. Another nice day for Anchorage, 75, Valdez at 72. Our forecast for the remainder of the night looks like this. A beautiful evening, just scattered clouds, 55 degrees. Tomorrow's forecast, 83. Can you believe that? And lots of sunshine, and the 5-day outlook. Again, temperatures kind of calming down a little bit, down to the low 70s, right on through the weekend into the beginning of the fair. And also overnight lows will also be cooling down a little bit to right around 50 degrees, but 83 tomorrow, guys.
Nice.
Perfect temperature for all the football players out there in two-a-day practice.
In 2 days. Oh, yeah.
I remember those days.
Absolutely.
No humidity out here, so you guys will be all right.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Mike. That will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We're glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, over 2,000 firefighters are on the front line battling California's largest wildfire. That's up next with Lester Holt.
You can join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at Webster11.com.
All righty, from all of us here at the News Center, we hope you have a great night.
Good night.